Let's see. This one would have been, yeah. Yeah, I've already gotten to the point in the video. You can see the cameras. I'm out there, I'm recording. I've got the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K and the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K. And I use them here. You can see that. I went back, yeah, I used them here. This was a video of me actually just sitting there at the cameras using them. I'm using them here. Besides a lot of still photography stuff that I did over the summer, we had a heavy summer. Well, when we went to Ward, Colorado, I took the whole thing up there. I took the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema cameras. I've been using them a lot. Oh, when I was watching the pelicans fish. Yeah, I use the cameras there. I think I've been exclusively using them for quite some time. Everything here, any video footage that's come out of me over the last year has been from those pocket cinema cameras. There, see, there's a camera there in the thumbnail that I talk about in this video. It's a different Blackmagic camera. It's the Ursa Mini. It's the bigger one. It's got a lot of features. It's very nice. Where has that been? You know, the last time I used that, it was back well over a year ago when I was still recording gameplay on this channel, which is not a thing I do anymore. The Kestrels. That's the last time I can remember. And then I don't even know up before that point was when we went out and we just watched the Kestrels. We found a spot and we watched the birds there as they went in and out of the nest, and we got some really nice footage. Oh, look at that. Well, it's the butt of a kestrel. That's not quite what I was going for in this video, but there it is. All right. Anyway, the point is, even though I recorded something talking about it, I believe my reasoning was, well, first, hey, everybody, I'm feeling under the weather. This is like day 4 of me having a cold, which is not great, but it's a Saturday morning. I have finished all the editing that I needed to do of the wildlife footage that I shot with those Blackmagic Pocket Cinema cameras last weekend. And thankfully, I guess I'm sick on an off week, so hopefully I'll be back up and going by next week as well. But I really got to thinking about this. I was doing a lot of introspective. What have I been doing? What's the point? It's getting kind of the same over and over. I'm not seeing what I want to. I'm not really accomplishing what I want to, which is fine. But what logical reason did I have coming up for using only the pocket cinema cameras when I have objectively a better, bigger camera that I really enjoy? And the bigger part of it is kind of one of the reasons. It's because I remember specifically going, oh, well, it's heavier and it's bigger, it's bulkier, it takes more to get out there. The tripod that I need for it is much larger. So I only do that when I go to a location that I know for sure I'm going to see some really good footage of something like the kestrels. That's their nest. They're definitely going to be there, and I'll set up and I just sit. And that way, when I'm using the pocket cinema cameras, I can be more mobile and I can move around. I go for this camera for the zoom in to tell myself, what does that mean? What else have you been doing? That's all. That's all that we've been doing for years, especially this last year. I think there was one point within the last 2 months where I went, oh, I can't really see the bird from where I'm at. I'll pick up the camera tripod and move it over. And I moved, 10 feet to the left or something like that for the first time. So what possible logic does that make? If that's the reason, is that because I don't, the idea, the main purpose is to get out there and be still and be quiet because you're as human going into the environment of the wildlife there, you are disturbing them by the very nature of it, of just going out and doing that. So the more you move around and the more noise you make and the more you are noticed by the animals, the less I'm going to see them. So the point is to kind of go out and just sit and be quiet and watch and listen. And the other reason is because it was heavy, right? It's bigger, it's bulkier, it's heavier. To that, I say, I've been lifting weights and working out for such a long time for this very purpose of doing that. The only thing I could think to say here is, what is the point of all those push ups if you, well, that's not exactly I'm not trying to lift a log, but you know what I'm talking about. It's a funny moment from the movie. And anyway, All that to say, and the fact that I have been recording now for almost an hour and gotten, I think, nothing usable, so I just started over. Super, super great. I'm a little disappointed with myself. I'm not trying to be too hard on myself, but I know what I want out of this, and I know what I'm gonna need to get there, I think. And it's not with the pocket cinema cameras. They've been great. Don't get me wrong. Super useful, much more lightweight. It's easy to get the stuff. The picture quality is good, but I have much more control over it when I use something bigger. The Ursa Mini out of the backpack once again. It's been stored, thankfully. It's in good shape. Everything's good. I'm very happy. Um, but I haven't used it in probably a year and a half or more. And before that, I don't know how long. Why? For what reason? It's heavy. I'm going to set down. For not a very good reason. All that to say. But it has been extremely useful to have two cameras when I go out. A camera, B camera, typically. A camera is a 6K. It's pointed at the wildlife. It's what we're getting there. We can do that. It has a little bit of capability to do the extra feature, which is pretty nice, of being able to shoot at a higher frame rate. It doesn't have a lot of options for that, but we can shoot at a higher frame rate at a lower resolution, but get the slow motion footage, which, especially if I'm close enough, looks really smooth. We've done that before. I really like how that looks. It's great. 6K kind of does it. 4K doesn't. It doesn't matter, because what I used 4K for was to shoot the landscape, the wide shots. I've been going out, and I really like that I've been making videos of just the nature when we've been out there, just recording it. Some nice peaceful footage of wherever we go, whatever we see, getting some shots from the nature itself. That's half the part of it. Just like why I'm trying to focus on doing a really good job with audio as well, because they always say audio is half a video. If it suffers, it's just not as good with that. You kind of need both to go hand in hand. And part of if it's just the wildlife shots, that's okay, but it doesn't tell the bigger picture, literally. So you kind of need the wide angle shot. So I'm used to having A camera and B camera. Obviously, everything we're talking about is unnecessary. This entire channel is unnecessary. I am unnecessary. I live an unnecessary life. I accept that. I know that. I buy things that are unnecessary. I recognize that. Just disclaimer right up front, so we can just move on from that. I like having the A camera, B camera. I could very easily, and have done in the past, gone out with the Ursa Mini and had the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, one of them, as the backup in order to get the wide angle shot. I've done that. It works. It's not as well to carry more stuff. It gets to a point, but I make it work. I pulled some money out of savings. We have a new B camera, and it's a Pixis. It's still Blackmagic. Blackmagic has been my camera brand of choice. Works really well with the editing software that I use. Buy them as well, obviously. And it's affordable. That's the thing. Obviously, I can't go getting actual cinema camera. I mean, look, they're called cinema cameras. People do use them to make cinema. I don't want to get into a debate about that, but it's not a Red Dragon or an RE Alexa or anything ridiculous like that, because I don't have tens and tens of thousands of dollars. If I did, I would buy the one lens I want, the Canon 50-1000, but I can't afford that anytime soon. But for around $3,000, I can get another backup camera. Another B cam that I can also use for the stuff at 6K. It should, I mean, from everything I know about it, I've been looking at it for a while, since they announced it, I think over a year ago. And I went, ooh, that would be great to have. I don't think it necessarily is an upgrade. I mean, it's a full frame lens. So, especially with those wide shots, we should get a nice wide picture. We're not doing it on a micro four thirds like we were with the 4K. So that's nice. It's got a lot of features. I do like the box style of body. It'll fit nice in the bag. It should go a lot easier with everything. Yes. Yes. Across the board, yes. I'm very happy that I finally pulled the trigger on this. It was a bit of debate. Financial reasons for that, given the fact that I'll be fully honest with you, as I have been this whole time on pretty much everything. The financial side of what everything for the last few years that I bought was not just becoming debt. Thankfully, I stopped doing that back in, I think, 2022. And I made myself a rule of, you don't purchase anything that you can't pay for up front. If you want to do that, you got to save for it. And with a little bit of rule bending to that, we mostly have stuck to that. But I've had money saved up and I did not drain my savings. We're still good. Everything's good. We have an actual budget to actually have money set aside for emergencies, and also a realistic budget for how much to get debt free, a date to be debt free, both me and my wife, and then also a debt to have money saved up to buy a house over the next few years. So I'm glad that everything's there. But because I did have money and I knew that I wanted it, I bought myself a little something. And I'm very, very happy. And I'm really looking forward to it. It just came in yesterday. All I did was sign for the package, open it up, and go, yep, that's it. And then said it's still sealed in the plastic. I have yet to do anything with it because it was so late yesterday that it was like, okay, D&D starts in a little bit. I got to run a session for my friends. And, I'm feeling under the weather. So I'm going to bed early, get lots of rest, and then wake up today and get all the editing done like I have to do so that I don't have that lingering over me. I'm going to crack this thing open soon and build out the camera. I got a cage for it as well. I haven't bought anything from Tilta before, I don't think, but they had a good deal on getting a cage with everything, so I can use the batteries that already exist and the media that I already have and everything. Yes, yes, yes. This is one of my favorite parts, as I talked about in the video back at the beginning of the year, which is the actual purchase and building of the camera and doing everything. I do like the technical side of that. I like what I know I can get with this stuff and be it's half the fun for me is being able to do that. So I'm very excited. And I hope that this is kind of a turning point starting, in the next few weeks to the next year. Over that is footage looking better. Maybe, that's kind of half of it. I'm hoping I've got a couple spots in mind that I want to go check out, look for birds, wildlife of any kind. I'm hopeful. I was feeling pretty down over the last few months, really, of just like, it's kind of the same, you know? That's why I took a break over the summer almost from doing video at all, was just, it was feeling a lot of going out and not seeing anything, not seeing stuff that I really like. We did a couple exciting moments, and I still think I might do an end of the year recap to try, because it just makes me feel better to look back over everything and go, yeah, here's what I accomplished. So I think that's enough rambling about everything. I made a purchase. I'm very excited about it. I'm very happy for the direction that I think I'm going to go with what I'm doing. Um, and I think it's going to be kind of a turn and kind of a good time. I hope. We'll see. That's all. I just wanted to record it because you're going to see it show up the very next time. And I know that if I were watching the main thing I do with anything here is try to do what I would want. And if I were watching someone else do this kind of thing regularly, going out looking for wildlife, and the other half of it, like the entire also behind the scenes of talking through all the equipment and being very enthusiastic about both the technical side of the equipment that's there and the side of going out and what we can see, and enthusiastic for the nature and watching of the birds and everything that's happening there, I would want to know about it as soon as a change like this happened. A new piece of equipment entered the arena. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I'm sick. I'm sick and I don't feel good, but I do feel real good. It does bring me joy to see that I am going in a direction that I really like, and I'm very excited for the future to see what it holds. And I think that's it. There's just a little, behind the scenes kind of, here's what's going on. I did a thing and I'm very happy about it. And that's enough of me rambling. I am not quite ready for more cold medicine yet, but we're getting there. And then I'm going to take a nap. Bye, everybody.